This is a very serious, everyday life that we as Black people living in America.
The Black community has gone through it this year. And yeah, I know,
That's all I got.
literally. I feel the weight of that as an empath. Like I just feel the energy, even through the screen. Immediately you did that and my chest sank. So anyone who's an empath understands that energy. And seeing our leaders at Verizon, who are people of color in high leadership positions, break down on camera at a global level within the organization, sharing that these burdens have been with them since childhood, that they've lived with this on a constant daily basis. And it goes on and on. I'm getting chills recanting that, and I'm not even doing it to any level of depth, but hearing those words come from those people, it's like, where have I been? And how have I not known that that was a reality? Because the silent talk tracks we have in our minds that we don't bring to the surface, we think we're so unique. We think it's only happening to us. Or we don't know that it's even an issue and a burden for other people because they're not sharing it with us. And I will be the first to say there's definitely no safe environment that I fostered prior to 2020 because half of it was ignorance. I didn't know I needed to create a safe space to invite people to talk to me. The other half was this expectation, hey, if you have something to say, just say it to me. Well, it's not that easy, and I fully get that. So I want to give you just some time and some space to really delve into that and really speak to how we can be present, working through these courageous and difficult conversations and during this racial reckoning that we're living through.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. And thank you for fulfilling that, right? And not just glossing over it, because that happens, right? Some people are just like, I can't take any, 2020 was already crazy. And they're, they don't want to engage in
Tapped
that.
Out.
Yeah, exactly. Tapped out. And it's work. It is work to be an anti-racist. It is work to try to learn about the things that you may have never even thought about or knew. And so, yes, I giggled, when I put my head down, but this is a very serious, everyday life that we as Black people living in America and other countries. Back in May, after George Floyd was murdered, a lot of people started to wake up and they ordered these books and all the books were sold out, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm so curious to know how many people actually read the books and are continually doing the work, right? Because you can order a book and say, okay, I ordered the book, I'm gonna read it, and life happens and the book starts to just, collect dust. And that was supposed to be the seed that took you on this journey of understanding. And so if you don't go and dig up that seed and start doing the work of becoming an anti-racist, then you really are still part of the problem. And that is the part that I'm a little worried about, right? That people woke up somewhat and they went back to sleep. And so I think for me, it's trying to keep, my allies aware and accountable. I am so proud of Verizon, right, for doing the things that we've done here and the leadership that has just come out of the gate like, hey, let's do this. These are things we can try. And I love that they're vulnerable. Like, hey, we're going to try this. It might not work. We're going to try. So I love that we're just trying and we're trying to be progressive. I'm really, really blessed to be at a company that does that because I know there are some other companies that don't take this seriously. And so, yes, I think it's dynamic. It is completely there are so many ways to look at this. There are Black people that are your coworkers that have never shared a lot of these stories. One, because culturally, if we share and are vulnerable in that space, we are looked at as weak. And that is just the reality. And really that's a cultural, thing. That's a cultural phenom where it's like, yes, we don't see Black people as equal, right? Like that is literally the understanding, the basis, the foundation of our country. And so in anything that makes us look any less than equal, right, then gets looked at as, okay, it's confirming this false belief, this lie that Black people aren't, smart as us or whatever those things are, just discriminatory prejudice things. And they're reiterated throughout all of the systems in our country again and again and again, right? Crime and all of these different things people look at and they grab, not understanding the foundation of the complexities that actually come from, right? We come from, Black people in this country, especially African Americans, many, many years of slavery. And when we were freed, I'll say, we were not, given opportunities, et cetera. The enslaved owners, right? The people that owned enslaved people, they were the ones who were rewarded, right? They were given money when we were. So think about that foundation. And when you think about it from that level, then you can understand how all of these things have happened and how we've gotten here today.